Welcome everyone to Tech Tips episode 16. Today I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to make a podcast and put that podcast up on iTunes. Now a lot of people are doing this nowadays, and being I recently just figured it out, I wanted to tell everyone it is a lot simpler and a lot easier than a lot of people think. So before I begin, I just want to say there are a whole bunch of companies that actually let you do this. Because before you even put your podcast up on iTunes, it has to be actually hosted by somebody. See, when you put a podcast up on iTunes, it's not actually on iTunes. All iTunes is doing is actually linking you to the actual host. So the first thing you need to do is find a host. And a host is simply a place where your podcast will reside, you know. I mean, you're not going to have your computer on all day, so it's not going to be on your computer. So it has to be hosted by somebody, whether that's a video podcast or an audio podcast. So first, I suggest going with a company that I found to be very easy to use, and there's a free version. Although the free version only gives you 500 megabytes, but if you want to go with the Pro, it's $10 a month. But you do get 2 months free if you buy the yearly subscription. But if you don't have the money and you want to just start out, you can go with the basic free version. So for the free version, you get 500 megabytes, and you get a couple of ads in the background. But other than that, it really works very well. Once you get the host, which in this case I suggest you get Podomatic. Podomatic is very easy to use. That's why I'm suggesting it. What you want to do next is actually find a really good editor, whether that's an audio editor or a video editor. Now, I suggest for the audio editor, many people like to use Audacity for your audio editor if you're going to be doing an audio podcast. For your video editor, you can go for something like Camtasia Studio. That's the one, or you can actually go with the free one that Windows comes with, and that is, of course, Windows Movie Maker. So you can either go with one of those. Those are the two that I would suggest anyway. Of course, Camtasia Studio is the better one, but it costs money. The Windows Movie Maker is free. So that's the video editor and the audio editor. Once you get those two things, all you really need to do is set up an account with Podomatic. Now, Podomatic is very easy to sign up. You just go over here, if I can bring it over, click the sign up button, and then, of course, like I said before, they make it very easy to use, people. You can either go with the Pro account, or you can go with the Basic. And like I said, the Pro account has 2 gigabytes of storage, but it also costs money. Costs $9.99 a month, but you get 2 months free, like I said, with the yearly membership. But I went right now with the basic, and you get 500 megabytes of storage, which is plenty if you're doing an audio podcast. It may not be enough if you're doing video. Now that's up to you. Now once you sign up and you enter in all the information, it's very straightforward. You first have to come up with a title for your podcast. So let's say you want a cooking podcast and you just want to show or explain how to do a recipe. Or it could be as simple as just teaching somebody about, I don't know, computers. You know, it could be anything. The first thing you want to do is put the title up. So that's all you call it, Cooking 101, Episode 1. And then you'd have to enter in, you know, the date of birth if you want. Your name, and just basic information, nothing complicated at all. What the podcast description is, describing the podcast, and it'll also ask you if it's going to have explicit content or it's going to be clean. Once you're done with that, you have to upload, I should say, a little picture of, I'll show you, what should I show you here? I wish I could show you here. Hold up. Let me show you here. So I can show you here. Yeah, I'll show you here. See, name, email address, password. Once you fill all that in, just click the Join Podomatic, and it'll ask you a whole bunch of questions on the title and all that. Once you're done with all that, then they give you an option to actually record the show. Now, I suggest you do not record it within Podomatic. I suggest you do it within a special program such as Audacity or Windows Movie Maker, because that way it gives you a way to edit it before you actually upload it. So my suggestion is you record it in Audacity or a program like Audacity, and then upload that file to this Podomatic, and don't record within Podomatic. You're just using Podomatic to upload it. Once the file, the audio file or the video file, is uploaded to Podomatic, what you want to do next, okay? Once that's all done, what you want to do next is go into iTunes, okay? So when you open up iTunes, this is what you get. Now everyone is familiar with iTunes, right? What you want to do is simply tell Podomatic, or tell iTunes, I should say, the RSS feed, okay? There's an area once you upload the file, it'll give you an RSS link. It'll say, look at my podcast. You'll have the podcast page, and on the right-hand side, you'll see there's a RSS, URL kind of. It's like an RSS feed. It'll say RSS at the end, so you can't really make a mistake. What you want to do is go into iTunes and click on iTunes Store. Okay, very simple so far, right, guys? And then, once you're in the iTunes Store, all you want to do, if I remember how to do this, you want to actually tell it to upload a thing here, podcasts. Then you click on podcasts. You want to click on audio podcasts, or books. Should I say books, or Apple Store? I forgot which one. Hold on a second, guys. See, even I get confused a little bit. There you go. Okay, so click on podcasts up here when you're in the iTunes Store. And then over here you'll see submit a podcast. Now once you click that, you'll simply get, they make it very simple here, folks. Once you get that, you'll get this. It says, please provide a link to the podcast RSS feed that you would like to consider adding to the iTunes Store. And that's it. You would paste the feed into that area, click continue, and in a few days, in my case, it was like a day and a half, your podcast should be up with the graphic and the audio file or the video file, whatever you put up. And it'll work very well. I had no problem. I had no problem whatsoever. It was much simpler than I honestly thought. And that's pretty much the whole thing on how to make a podcast. If you have any questions, people, just please let me know, because it doesn't really get much simpler than this. So again, if you want to make the podcast, it's 100% free. But of course, if you want more space, you will have to pay a little bit of money. And those of you thinking about doing a video podcast, unfortunately, I think you're going to be forced into buying a subscription on these servers, because they do take up an immense amount of space, especially if you want to do an HD version of the podcast. So thank you for watching Tech Tips episode 15, I believe, or episode 16. I'll be bringing you more episodes as the weeks and months progress. Take it easy, people. Bye.